Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share something that's been on my mind for a long time. Something many elderly people feel but don't always say out loud. As we get older, there's a point where we stop paying attention to the ones we once loved so deeply, our children, our grandchildren. Not because we've stopped loving them, but because somewhere along the way, we started feeling forgotten, dismissed, or no longer needed. I know this may sound a little heavy, but I believe it's a reality that deserves to be heard. So today, I want to talk about 7 things that children and grandchildren often do, knowingly or unknowingly, that make the elderly quietly step back and stop caring the way they once did. 1. Lack of attention or communication. Elderly people don't ask for much. A short phone call, a simple message, a visit every now and then. These little things mean the world to them. But life gets busy. Days turn into weeks. Messages go unanswered. Phones don't ring. At first, we wait. We check our phones. We think, maybe today. But as time passes, we stop hoping. Not because we want to, but because we're tired of being disappointed. And here's the truth. When an elderly person stops expecting you to call, it's not because they're fine without you. It's because they no longer believe you remember them. And when that belief fades, their emotional connection to you fades with it. 2. Not listening or disregarding advice. Older people love to share stories, to give advice, not because they think they know everything, but because they care. They've lived through things you haven't yet. But when they talk, what do they get in return? Yeah, I know already. That's outdated, Grandma. Times have changed. Every time you brush off their words, they feel more and more invisible. First, they try again. Then they grow silent. Then they stop altogether. And when an elder stops talking, it's not because they have nothing to say. It's because they've decided it's not worth the pain of being ignored again. 3. Only reaching out when you need something. Some elders feel like they've become tools, used only when convenient. Can you babysit? Can you help me pay this? Can you make something for me? But where are you when they just need company? You can't imagine how heartbreaking it is to feel like your children or grandchildren only call when they need something, not when they want to connect. Over time, this kind of behavior teaches them a lesson they never wanted to learn. I'm only valuable when I'm useful. And when that's how they start to see themselves, they quietly begin to pull back their care, just to protect what little dignity they have left. 4. Disrespect or lack of basic manners. A small gesture like saying hello, speaking gently, or simply showing interest can brighten an older person's whole day. On the flip side, harsh tones, rolling eyes, or ignoring them altogether can cut deeper than you realize. Respect isn't about obeying, it's about making someone feel valued. When an elder senses that they are no longer respected, they shut down emotionally. They might stop offering advice, stop reaching out, stop showing concern, not because they don't care, but because they've been made to feel small, bothersome, or obsolete. 5. Not sharing your life. Grandparents don't need to know everything. They don't expect to be told every detail. But a few updates, a story here and there, even a little photo, can make them feel like they're still part of your life. When you stop sharing completely, when you lock your world away from them, they take the hint. And that hint says, you're no longer included. That's when they stop asking, they stop trying, they stop intruding, and eventually they stop caring, not out of anger but out of quiet surrender. 6. blaming them or bringing up the past. This one's especially painful. Some people grow up and start blaming their elders for how they were raised, what they didn't have, or how things didn't turn out as expected. Maybe those feelings are valid, but constant blame and resentment, spoken or implied, only make things worse. No one is perfect, and most elders did the best they could with what they had. If you keep making them feel like they failed you, they'll believe it, and it will break their spirit. So don't be surprised if one day they no longer try to reach you emotionally, because blame builds walls and love needs open doors. 7. Disrespecting family traditions. Traditions matter to older generations. Family dinners, ancestral altars, holidays, simple gatherings. These are not just routines. They're how elders stay connected to their roots, their identity, and to you. When you start skipping those things, when you stop showing up or treat these moments like a chore, they feel that what they've tried to preserve all their life is being thrown away, and when their values are no longer honored, their emotional bond begins to loosen. Because what connects generations is not blood alone, but shared meaning. Everything I've shared today doesn't come from judgment. It comes from watching, feeling, and hearing the silent heartbreak of people who once gave everything for their children and grandchildren and now feel like strangers in their own families. If you're young, don't wait for regrets. A single message, a simple, "How are you?" a little respect. It can heal more than you know. And if you're older, be kind to yourself. Don't carry the pain alone. Speak your truth. You still matter. Thank you for listening. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone you care about. Sometimes all it takes is a conversation to bring hearts back together.